Nuclear Clown TV is live in your face and all over the place. I am your host, the completely irradiated one, Dave, broadcasting to you live from that place I am. I wanted to talk today about pro wrestling because I do like the pro wrestling. It's something that I've liked since I was just a little clown, a tiny little. I was barely atomic back then, but now I'm a big, glowing green clown, and I think that it's pretty neat. But the state of wrestling today is a bit crap because it's goofy. You know, it really is. I mean, I watch WWE, and it sucks. I mean, the guest host thing is retarded. Every week, you mean to tell me every week some celebrity is in charge and can make matches? I mean, that totally destroys any type of credibility you might want to think about having in your wrestling organization if every week somebody new is in charge. Yet, people who are in charge for just that day can make matches on the next person's show. Let's not get into it too much. I have blood pressure issues. Anyway, so you'd think, well, Dave, there are other wrestling companies out there. There's TNA. And I'll say, wow, TNA. And then I'll watch TNA. And then I'll be like, man, I watched TNA. I kind of have no pity for TNA because they have everything you could possibly want to have a successful company. With them, it's always, when we get this, it'll happen. When we get that, it'll happen. When we get pay-per-view, we'll be big. They get pay-per-view. They're not big. When we get a TV deal, we'll get big. They get a TV deal. They're not big. When we get a national TV deal, we'll get big. They get on Spike. Not big. When it's 2 hours, we'll get big. They get 2 hours. Same shit. When we get Christian and Mick Foley and insert washed up WWE person here, we'll be better. We'll be big. It ain't happening, folks. And this whole thing with Hulk Hogan going there, I don't know, man. I'm to a point now where I don't believe anything TNA says because they have really good production quality as far as like the camera and stuff. They get 2 hours a week. They have their pay-per-views. They have all the talent they need. And they had all the talent they needed before they started just ravaging all these people who were just coming to collect the check and go out in the ring and fall apart for 10 minutes, you know? The problem with TNA is they have good wrestlers who cannot talk. But this is fixable because you give them managers and then they can talk. Oh, what? You don't have any managers in TNA? Oh boy, we have problems already. AJ Styles is really great. People have been saying he's the next big thing for 7 years. Guess what? It's not going to happen. Want to know why? Because he can't talk. Listen, I don't want to be the one to have to break it to all you hardcore wrestling fans out there who, rate the 5-star matches and all that stuff. You're much more technical about it than I will ever be. You gotta be able to talk. Sorry. Hulk Hogan couldn't wrestle, right? He body slam, leg drop, that's about it. But guess what? He could talk. He could sell stuff. John Cena can't wrestle, but guess what? He can talk. He could sell stuff. I wish it weren't so. I mean, I wish that I would really love to see things kind of change, and more of an emphasis be put on the in-ring actual work. But that's really not going to happen anytime soon. And, let's face it, Stone Cold sucked. Is anybody going to doubt that? Is anybody going to debate me that Stone Cold couldn't wrestle? And I'm not talking about the ringmaster thing or anything he did in WCW. I'm talking about after he broke his neck 19 times or whatever. When he was at his height, what was a Stone Cold match? I remember even back then when I was in high school, I'd be like, Stone Cold. A Stone Cold Steve Austin match. This is going to be horrible. Oh, look, a Luthez press. Some punches. Stunner. There you go. And kicks. A whole lot of kicks. If he did like a suplex, I was like amazed. I was astonished. 5-star Stone Cold match. He did a goddamn suplex. But and I understand you don't need to be good. You know what I mean? personality goes a really, really long way in pro wrestling. And TNA, they have a lot of wrestling ability, not a lot of personality. And for some reason, they're not going to throw managers in there to talk for the people who can't talk. Do you want to fail? AJ Styles is a champion, and whenever he goes, listen up, Lauren, I got something to say. I want to turn the TV off, flip it over, and drive a car over it, because he can't fucking talk. He's an amazing wrestler. Of course, everybody knows that. And guess what? 10 years from now, it'll be the same story, because he can't talk. And some things you just can't teach. You want to make AJ Styles a credible champion? Have him shut the fuck up. Come to the ring. Shut the fuck up, Bruce. Have him come to the ring with that cocky smirk and give him a manager to talk for him and say, that's the phenomenal AJ Styles. You don't get to talk to him. You talk to me. He does his talking in the ring. And I'm interested. You know, AJ Styles should be the cocky, arrogant motherfucker who can go out there and put on a really good match and just shut up. He can do it, too. Just shut up, smirk like he does, go to the ring and wrestle. Do your pose, call it a day, let the manager take up the slack where he can. It's not an unfixable problem, but they refuse to address it and say, no, AJ, here, read this. And they write him a script, and he reads it like a robot, and I'm bored, and I'm asleep. The knockouts used to be good, and then, I don't know, TNA, they don't build on anything, you know? Christian's coming. They throw him the belt right away, and then it's, oh, somebody else is coming. Kurt Angle's coming. They throw him the belt right away. Now Mick Foley's coming. And you can't just introduce somebody, give him the belt, and say, where are all our pay-per-view buys? You can't do it. You have to build stuff. You have to build storylines. Nothing lasts in TNA. I mean, 1 week Samoa Joe is a savage animal with a cardboard machete. Come on. And then the next, he's walking around in a dressed like me, like in normal clothes. What's going on? Week to week, it's like they get amnesia. Everybody on the crew gets amnesia, and they don't know what the fuck is going on. That's enough TNA. That's enough. I don't want to talk about it. No, we're not going to discuss this. That's enough. So people will say, well, Dave, if you want your wrestling, you want Ring of Honor. They take it seriously. And they have matches that are 4.95 stars all the time. I've seen Ring of Honor a couple of times, and you know what? Very impressive wrestling for certain. But I need some kind of character in there. I need some kind of, like, you'll say, oh, well, Dave, you want WWE Sports Entertainment. You gotta have the perfect mix. I'm sorry, that's just what I want. And Ring of Honor fans are kind of snooty. I mean, I don't know. Listen, we all like pro wrestling. Let's not get geeky about it and be like, oh, he likes wrestling, but I like Ring of Honor, and he likes WWE. Come on, he's not sitting at our table in the cafeteria. We're all in the same sexless, titless boat here, guys. Let's not make divisions about it and social casts based on what kind of wrestling you watch. I mean, really, let's be serious. But Ring of Honor, it doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. I don't... Nigel McGuinness, he's in TNA, and I don't know. I'm not impressed. He comes out and he says he's fighting Kurt Angle, and he calls him Mr. Mangled. You can't do better than that. Mr. Mangled, really? And then it's like, well, Dave, he does his talking in the ring. You know what? Enough people in TNA do their talking in the ring. Let's get some fucking characters going here. Please, can we get one? No. And then they try to just take other characters and build on them, and it doesn't work. Does anybody know what they're doing? I don't know. The last guy I was honestly excited about in wrestling, was Brock Lesnar. I've bought one WWE pay-per-view in my life. My entire life, I bought one. You know what it was? It was a SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar won the belt and beat The Rock, because they built Brock up so good, and he had everything you could possibly want, and he couldn't talk, so they didn't let him. You with me? So that I had to see, and I bought it. I put down money for that, and I haven't done it ever since. I just cared then, and now I don't care. I still watch wrestling, but there's so much going on, and I want to talk on this in other videos too, because, amidst this hurricane of geek stuff that I'm into. But I just wanted to give you a little video about pro wrestling and kind of what I think about the big three today. WWE, it's ridiculous now. Advertising the kids, guest hosts, Sheamus. TNA doesn't know what they're doing. They're driving with the lights off and their hand over their eyes. And Ring of Honor, I think, takes itself way too seriously. I mean, come on, guys. This is pro wrestling here. Nuclear Clown out.